won the European Cup Winners' Cup.
2, Celtic 1. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. Look at the celebrations there. What a turnaround here this afternoon.
Welcome to Rangers Radio.
What a goal by Deeney, followed that up, and whoop, in it goes.
Why not give the show a call on 01413561972.
Rangers open the scoring. Arpit Tawdry. 12 minutes of the match remaining.
What a strike.
A stunner from Kenny Miller. Rifles it into the roof of the net.
Or send Fox a friend request on Skype at Rangers Radio Online.
He's gone into the middle. McSwegan's in there too. Will he come for McSwegan? There's his header, and he scores! What a substitution! Running inside, is he gonna let flies in? He scores! Good ball! Scores for Rangers!
Nacho Lobo with one kick of the ball to take Rangers to Manchester. Rangers are coming! The Scots are heading for Manchester, and you know what? Manchester may not be big enough.
Remember, it's all about the Rangers.
Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Joining myself, Oxford, on the panel is the one and only Bridgeman and Ibrox Loyal. How we doing, lads? Well, Ibrox is with us. How we doing?
Evening, gentlemen.
Oh, can I just say a big good evening to the guys in the panel and to all the guys in the lobby. A big good evening to all the Rangers fans all over the world. Massive good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
You all right, Bridge?
Aye, magic, pal, magic.
How's the recovery going? With 1 to 10?
Actually, a lot better. I was out today. I drove for the first time today.
Oh, I've
Felt
seen you driving, mate.
So the wife was, she was co-piloting me, making sure I was doing the right things and all that. But it's kind of strange. That's a fortnight. I've not been behind the wheel at all, you know. So she's a bit concerned about me, but we're okay, getting there. So that's another step taken. So we're getting there, but I'm very happy.
Good man, mate. Good man. Pleased for you, mate. Pleased for you.
Thank you.
I'm nagging at you. Go left, go right.
It's really difficult. No, it's difficult. You know yourself. It's difficult enough when you're sitting and if the wife's not talking to her, if she's mad at you or whatever, you know. But she's been really, really good. And the only time she got into me was when I left the indicator on too long or something like that.
Well, I used to quite like the silent treatment. How we doing, Ibrox Loyal? How are you?
I'm doing well, mate. I come on now to pay up my bet. So listen to this, mate. Hear that all right? That's your 50.
50 what?
50 pence.
Aye, beat it. You won. Is that the bet you
was
speaking about the last night?
Oh, come on, you.
It was 50 quid each. It was a 50 quid each bet last night on the score.
I thought it was £1, but that was a 50 pence piece there on the table. So.
You're right.
What's the other pay up my bets, lads?
50 pence. Oh dear,
you could have expected that for him, didn't you? You could have expected that for him.
Well,
he's got to keep his money. He's got to look after his money now because the big day is definitely coming closer and closer and closer.
Oh, that's all off, mate. He's back on.
No, it's no. It's no. He's only saying
that. A Binder or something like that. He's on the.
Is this right?
Ah, he's back on. He's back on. He's on. He's back out again. Anyway, we digress. Obviously, we'll briefly talk about last night's game. Right, that's enough about that. We'll hear from Josh. Who's doing the typing? One of you two. We'll hear from Josh Windass. I think we'll go to hear from boy scored the hat trick. I believe Ibrox, that'll be his first hat trick for us. I think it is. It
is, mate. I think he's one of the only men that scored the hat trick now. Well, so.
Aye. So we'll hear from him. We'll talk briefly about the game. It would be great to get some callers in, particularly first-time callers. With it. New callers are great to hear from what you've got to hear to say about the Rangers. We'll then also be talking about the fiasco that also happened in the game last night. We looked as if at least a couple hundred people who went up with legit tickets never get in. But a trek and how they're going to be compensated, what's going to happen. We'll have to have a wee chat about that. Anybody that was there that happened to, it would be great to hear from you. We've then got the big story that broke in Scottish football as well today, Bridgeman. What's your view on Mr. Regan, I wish it wasn't a Thursday. I wish True Blue was here. I bet he'd get plenty to say. On Regan, well, it's one down, one to go. And then we've got the other one. I was talking to Big Ulster earlier on, and we were laughing about that BBC story. What a joke that was. But we'll come to that, about the so-called fake news. Then they had to apologise. So quite a bit to talk about, Ibrox, eh?
Aye, definitely so, mate. It's been a very busy day in the world of football news, so especially when it comes to the mighty Glasgow Rangers. So,
and then we've also got the state of, well, the latest on Fox, Bridgeman.
Well, there's a lot to come out of that yet. We haven't heard all. I'm sure you'll be able to glean something from them. Or we'll make it up. We'll just make up fake news and be done with it.
Well, would you call that one Foxgate?
Foxgate is a good one. You're on fire tonight, boy.
I learned for the best, mate. I learned for the best.
He's back there for Foxgate.
If that's a Foxgate, tomorrow night, Miss Gladys will be a lamb to the slaughter. Nurse Gladys will be a lamb to the slaughter, Bridge.
Oh, wow.
It's all back on again.
I'm very pleased for him, by the way, because she seemed to be tovering him up a bit, that's for sure.
Well, we move on. Anyway, last night, now you've had a few hours to think about it, Bridge. Wasn't great. We done what had to be done. We come away with no injuries. Give your thoughts, mate.
Well, I said a wee bit about it last night. The truth of the matter is, it was a crap night, playing football, poor football, on a crap pitch, with crap weather, and we were playing with sort of, let's say, half a senior team, and the other half was a second string lot. Still, we should have played a lot better, I would imagine. I could say that in all honesty. I thought we would have played a bit better than we did. But we got a young lad there come out, and Josh Windass, and scored a hat-trick. One was a penalty, admittedly, but his 2 goals, great goals, great shots at goal, superb stuff. Some of the players played not too bad, others didn't shine. But again, it's down to all the conditions that were going on there, and our opposition actually were a lot tougher, and I mean physically tougher, than even these guys have ever played against in all probability. Because it's really, they're a tough wee team. We have a very, very tight pitch, and a slant or a slanted slope, and whichever word you want to use, and very wet, bad condition, so and a high wind, crosswind, so on and so forth. So I don't want to say too much more about it, otherwise I'm going to start ripping some of the players apart, and I don't want to be doing that. I'm delighted we got our 3 points and a clean sheet, and to my knowledge, no injuries, and we can't be bad. Coming back from Fraserburgh, I'm happy.
I think the no injuries is a big plus. People get a run out, but the performance was poor, Ibrox Loyola.
It was very poor, mate. But I think we said last night, the main thing, we get out of that hurdle, we're into the next round of the Cup. Our 2 most important games are about to come up in the next few days. It's Hibernian and Partick Thistle in the league, mate. We're comfortable into the next round. We'll take that when it comes, but we beat Hibs and beat Partick Thistle. That's the most important 2 games for me, mate, to be honest.
And then we'll get United in the Cup to get to the quarter-final, mate. That becomes, once you the Thistle game, their game, because the Cup's, obviously it's not our main priority, but it's important to us, yes?
Well, without a doubt, mate, without a doubt, and I'm sure we'll take care of that when it comes round, mate. Very sure.
And then it's the international break, is it?
Oh, please don't mention
that. I think it is, isn't it?
Man.
That'll be cancelled. They don't have MD to run the whole fucking SFA. Never mind an manager.
No, Bridge. No,
they've got nothing. They've not got a pitch. They've got nothing.
No, Bridge. No. So poor fare. Job done. Move on. Put the match behind us. Is that what you're saying, Bridge?
Well, in essence, yes. I mean, you could pinpoint. Look, for instance, Kranka, oldest man probably the oldest man in our squad at the moment, who's able to play. And he's shall we say, he played 90. Is it 90 minutes he played last night?
Yes.
You can't complain too much. He actually lasted 90 minutes against a very tough team in the conditions that we were in, poor grounds, as I said earlier. So I think that just epitomises the way we were. Some of our players that haven't played for us for a wee while came on and tried their best. Some of them, well, some of the comments last night were probably closer to home than I would say. But some of them are quite poor, and they're showing up. So the next time they get a chance, if indeed they do, then they're going to have to actually improve dramatically. Let's put it that way.
Crankar, I think it was Rudy that says his feet are still working, but his legs aren't, and I think that sums him up. I mean, the guy's been a tremendous player. But when you're done, you're done, Ibrox. You know that, mate.
But you know, he had a hand in all 3 goals, didn't he?
Well, sort of, Camels, but I mean, the guy can't run, mate. I mean...
No, I know. It was sad to watch.
He tries hard enough, mate. Can't fault his effort. He doesn't hide, but he's just done. And I don't want to slag the guy as a footballer, because he's been genuinely a top class player in his day, Ibrox.
Without a doubt, mate. You don't get 80+ caps for Croatia and play for one of the top teams in England. Maybe not one of the top teams at the time he was there, but. As I says, mate, I can't slag anybody's legs. My legs went about 12 years ago, so it's one of the things, mate. When your time's up, unfortunately.
And he also comes across as quite a genuine bloke as well. Obviously, he's earning a lot of money to our club, which will help him. But he does come across as a decent bloke at Bridge.
Aye, absolutely. And I think it could be said. That could be said about most of our players. They're probably really nice guys, and they're trying their best, given that all the stramash, if I can use that word, that's surrounding Rangers at the moment, and all the crazy stories about us. And so these guys they're trying their best, and they done their best last night. And we know, as Rangers fans, we watched that. And by the way, that's as much rubbish as we've watched last season or through the lower leagues. You know, we've saw things like this before, and our team can't cope with it. Couldn't play right for whatever reason. And I'm not going to go into too much, other than the fact that I'm very happy. We went there. Some of the players managed to get through correctly. Guys scored a hat-trick, some nice passes, and so on and so forth. And we defended quite well. But if you take all the negatives away, we're left with, well, Rangers didn't play that great in reality. So we got the 3 points, clean sheet, no injuries, we hope, and we're back. Next game.
All right, I think he put it to bed, the Fraserburgh game. We'll hear from Josh Windass. We'll congratulate him on scoring his hat-trick, and we'll move on to our other stories breaking. So if you don't mind, Foxbridge, type in, mate. Right. If you don't mind, Fox, let's hear from Josh Windass.
Josh, well played. First professional hat-trick. What does that mean to you tonight?
Yeah, obviously it's a good feeling. Obviously I've scored a lot of doubles in the past, but to get 3 tonight's nice.
What did you make of the overall team performance?
I thought it was good, considering it was actually really difficult on the pitch to get the ball moving. But I thought lads did a professional job and dealt with it quite well in the main, and limited them to a few opportunities, which obviously it was expected.
Yeah, how did you find dealing with the conditions so cold? As you mentioned, the pitch pretty bumpy as well.
Yeah, it was all right. I quite enjoyed it, to be honest. I used to playing on league myself, so it brought my memory back a little bit. So I enjoyed it. I think the lads did as well, and I think we did a professional job, as I said, and we're through to the next round. That's the main thing.
And for Fraserburgh, they obviously tried to make it as difficult as possible, but as you mentioned, professional job done by Rangers.
Yeah, I think obviously everyone expected us to win, and I think we've come here and shown them no respect really, and won the game, and quite comfortably, which is obviously what we came to do.
How important is the Scottish Cup to everyone in that dressing room this season?
Yeah, obviously the gaffer's told us that he wants to win a trophy, and that's what we're here to do at this club, win medals and try to do stuff for the fans. So yeah, looking forward to the next round now, and hopefully we can win it.
What will it mean to you in May if Rangers are walking up to lift the Scottish Cup and you're the man that started it?
Yeah, obviously it'd be one of the best moments of my career to win a trophy, so hopefully we can get to a final. I've been to a few semi-finals and come up short, so hopefully this is the year.
And now it's a chance to not bounce back, but go again on Saturday. Hibs, massive game at a sold-out Ibrox, and one that everyone will be looking forward to.
Yeah, obviously it's a massive game, playing Hibs all the time, so the lads are looking forward to it, and it'll be a packed house, as you said, and we can't wait.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. We've been joined by Big Ulster. Evening, Big Ulster.
Evening, how are you?
All right, mate. Fair play to Josh Windass, scored a hat-trick. Seemed quite downbeat. I know maybe it's only Fraser, but if he scores a hat-trick on Saturday, it might be a bit different, mate.
Yeah, I think it was probably due to the performance. I don't think we were great at times, but we've done the job, a good professional job. We got over the line, and well done to Josh Windass with 3 goals. That 2 of them were took very, very well. So was the penalty, actually. 3 really, really good goals. But as you boys have already said, I don't think we can take too much out of it, to be honest. But congratulations to Josh Windass. But I'm in for a bit of trouble here because I told the boys last night, we're going over Saturday, just want to be 50 quid bet there, maybe get you all a drink out of it. Nah, I'm hearing it's 50p.
50p at Ibrox Loyal
going on here
last night. I'm sure.
Ulster, your name wasn't even mentioned.
That's a disgrace.
We did say quid, didn't we, Ulster?
But it definitely did.
Sorry, mate. I'm getting a bit old, mate. The ears know what it was.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll need to listen back to the archive and find out what was said.
Shocker, that man.
50p Ibrox, Jesus Christ. Anyway, what's on your mind, big man? What's the story that's hitting you today?
Loads of different ones. Obviously, the whole BBC incident. One of their people coming over. We're going to start with that, or
you carry on, mate. You give your thoughts on that.
Well, it just goes to show you so much. There's a bit of hatred here. We know that anyway, especially with BBC, because if you're any kind of a journalist, I think you would triple check that before you put something out, saying that you know this man from China and blah, blah, blah. And putting this out, saying that Rangers, obviously, this was a myth. There was nobody contacted the clubs denying it. Obviously, I think about 4 hours later, the same journalist had to come out and apologise for tweeting that out and had to then turn tail and say that he made a mistake. But I think if you're any kind of journalist, work yourself, you would check your facts before you put them out there. But it just goes to show you what the media is like in Scotland. They're too quick off the gun to attack Rangers.
I think an own goal. Somebody's not done their homework, having a cheap shot, and then it's backfired on them. But I think it might have just been a typo, mate. Maybe his info came for the Chinkies, no for the Chinese,
You know what? I'd say you're probably right.
Any thoughts, Bridge?
I think it epitomises everything about the BBC and their attitude towards Rangers, and of course the rest of the media pack follow on from that. You'll probably find, I don't know this for sure, but I could put money on it now, and not a Ibrox Loyal bet, but a real money. I could put money on it now that it was never really mentioned in Radio Clyde. They're closing gates, they're closing shop, putting onto defences. You'll hardly hear about it in any of the papers. They'll maybe make a comment about it, but they'll know of a big opinion. And in reality, the press and the rest of the media up here should be absolutely slaughtering the BBC. Absolutely slaughtering them. In particular, Rangers should be asking for that man's head.
Do you want to hear his tweets?
Go for it.
Yeah, his first tweet was, the word from China, source close to Bijan Rayaj denies the club made a multi-million pound bid for Alfredo Morelos, says that their foreign player quota is full and that there is a levy on foreign signings over $7 million. And then 4 years later, an apology, despite what was told from China, there was indeed a multi-million euro bid, indeed bids from Beijing Rayaj for striker Alfredo Morelos, with varying options for how it would have been structured. This retracts and corrects my previous tweet. So he just somebody's told him something, he's put it out here. Professional journalist, bad news, Bridger.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Rangers should have a department that's going to look after everything that comes through in the media. We've got a new communications director. Somebody somewhere should be saying, "Hey, wait a minute, this is a case. We'll build this. Where's all the evidence we've got? Let's go and see the BBC guy, my equivalent in the BBC, and say to him, see that there? There's a lawyer's letter in among it. You're going to court. That guy, we're after that guy's head. He's going to get the sack. Done. We'll not accept anything but that guy getting the sack and an apology written, a full apology from the BBC, and this should never happen again." And that's what I would do.
Ibrox?
Aye, mate, I think it's just a joke, but we don't expect anything less for the BBC these days. That Kirid Nidsan, I kind of find it hard to time to take him serious, because every second the word comes out his mouth is basically a lie. He's obviously been forced to come out and apologise for his previous statement. I let me just check this just now, right, and tell you why we're live on air. One, I can only see two. I'm on their team's website, or it's supposedly their team's official website, their squad. And to me, they've only got 3 overseas players. You are allowed 4.
Can you name the squad for us?
It's me, remember, mate. Well, I'll get you a few, mate. Who Flung Dung? There's one.
Enough.
Seriously, mate, they've got 1 Brazilian, 1 Honduran, and I can't even figure out the other country's badge, to be honest, right? So there's 3. You're basically allowed 4 overseas players. Morales would have been the 4, but thank God, touch wood, that it's not come to pasture yet, and hopefully
at the moment. But I mean, the fact that you're one of your main researchers on it, and you've found that out as a professional journalist, mate. It's really, really sad. Anyway, if people want to join us, what's the number, Bridgeman?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
And you can join us at rangersradio.online. Well, Fox will bring you in and you can join the panel or come in and ask a question, anything Rangers related. We've also been joined by Mount Vernon and Rudy Bear. Evening, gentlemen.
Evening, guys.
Evening, gentlemen.
Hi, Rudy. Hi, Mount.
How are we doing? Are you over last night? We moved on. Is that in the back? Gone now, Rudy, is it?
Aye. Okay, it's what it is, you know. We got
I don't want you choking in a soap now.
We got through it, didn't we? We got the win. So that's all that matters really in the end up. You know, we've talked about it last night. There wasn't very much to be said about it. I think the next game against Derby United at Somerset Park will be different. We'll need a step up in quality there to get through that one, I would imagine. But we're through, you know, we've got another game now in the Cup, you know, and if we win that, we're into the quarter-final. There's 2 big games coming up, though. 2 big league games coming up, you know, Hibs and Partick Thistle. So, you know.
And they are big games because we want to keep this momentum, the feel good, and see where it takes us, Rudy. Yeah?
That's right. I mean, and the only way to do that is win games, isn't it?
Correct,
you know?
mate. Correct.
You know, I mean, winning becomes a habit. It's like it's a footballing cliche, but it's true. You know, winning becomes a habit. You know, just as losing becomes a habit. You know. You can keep that winning streak going, builds more confidence in the squad and the players, you know, and they go out there, you know, and they know they can win games, you know. I mean, they've already proved that they can put on the good performances against the bigger teams. I mean, they've defeated Aberdeen 3 times now, you know, went to the Glitterdome and got a really good result there.
One at Easter Road, one at Murrayfield.
Easter Road, Murrayfield against Hearts, you know. In all honesty, we ended up a bit disappointed after the Old Firm game because we reckon we could actually have won that if Alfredo had his shooting boots on that day, you know. So they've proved they can play in the bigger games, so they need to keep proving it though. They need to keep it going. They need to keep the winning run going for the sake of the feel-good factor, you know.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. How you doing, Mount?
Aye, good, mate. How yourself? You okay?
I'm fine, mate. I'm fine. Tip-top, mate.
Good stuff.
Tip-top. Have you parked last night as well and moving on, mate? Starting to look forward to Saturday rather than look back?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it was very professional performance. You know, we got the job done. The old cliches. You'll hear all the cliches in the world, but you know, we're in the next round of the cup. Got a hard game at Somerset Park, as Rudy said, against United, and you know, we've got a massive game on Saturday coming up and a massive game on Tuesday. So, you know, it's all gun blazing. So, you know, I think the guys will be preparing, you know, hard, you know, resting up and making sure they're in fighting form for Saturday. It's got to be a massive game for us, and you know, hopefully the quality that has been brought in and will show on Saturday. I think that everybody's looking forward to the ball game. It's going to be a great occasion.
I'll put it out there, Mount. We'll win.
Well, I hope so, mate. Hope so.
No, I've no doubt we're going to win on Saturday.
Well, I hope so, mate.
Anyway, we've got a caller coming and I'll come back to you and Rudy. Evening, caller.
How you doing, lads? It's Bazza.
How you doing,
Bazza?
No bad, aye. I've not phoned in for a while, but listen every night, Millie, so... Aye, so I was just wanting to phone into...
So you're the guy that listens, aren't you? we knew somebody listened, but we've not worked out who it is.
No, I was just listening to you there. I was listening to Mount Vernon. That. No, I was just thinking about the weekend's game. That, like how Morelos was going to be. You know, like I thought he was a bit huffy a couple of weeks ago. Or was it last week? The game they get taken off now, and Cummins came on.
Ah, yeah.
So maybe if Murty's right with his stuff, like, I don't know, it's confusing him and all that. Then I don't know how it's going to work with the Buffalo now. You know, like. So it's one of them ones on Saturday. I think he will start, but
I agree with you. I think he will start. I think he will start, Baz. I think. I don't know if the move thing's finished yet. Obviously, because the Chinese market's still open for another month. Aye, but I think he will start. And what the good sign for us was the photographs last night coming back after the game that he was laughing with all the players and all that, which is a good sign that he still wants to be part of it. And
aye, that's good. Aye,
mixed emotions with somebody. Being petulant coming off, it doesn't look good, never looks good, but sometimes other people might turn around and say you should be in a huff when you come off. So there's two sides to every coin, you know.
It'll be good to find out if he does start on Saturday and he scores, you know what I mean. Then we'll see how he celebrates, you know, and we'll get a wee inkling, if you know what I mean.
If he kisses the badge, we know he's away.
Been watching Albert's videos, man.
So what's your Rangers story, Bazza?
Same as all yours, man. Just grew up with it, man.
It's not the same as Bridges, is it?
I don't know. What's his story?
Well, it was in remand. He started supporting the Rangers. And
I've not been on there.
Don't listen.
I'm too sensitive.
But it's a lot of truth in what he says.
No, mate, I've
what's your generation? Who's your favourite players?
I'm 37, so I grew up. I was at Tannadice 9-0. 7th of May 1997, the Dundee United in. I went to the toilet, man, before Laudrup scored the header and the Dundee United in. I sneaked a bottle of Buckfast in me, right? Typical wee nerd at the time. And I was in the cubicle drinking it. I heard this. The fucking Huns have scored, man. I was drinking in the cubicle. Oh, you fucking dancer.
What's your language, Bazza? What's your language, Bazza? Carry on.
Sorry, I'll get in.
Aye, so, it's alright, baby, carry on.
I'm Clydebank, so I went all the way up myself for Queen Street in the train. And I knew the last train home for Dundee was about 9:30, but I was missing that train, but I wasn't really caring. So at full time, I had my Rangers tap underneath my jacket, and I showed it to the coppers, and there was a good few behind the goals on the Dundee United in. They let us in the Rangers in. A few guys took us under a wing through, I think it's in the 9am or the 10am for Shelton Rangers supporters bus. They took us home down the road. And I was only 17 at the time, you know what I mean? It was amazing, best day of my life, man. Apart from like Helicopter Sunday, you know what I mean?
Nice one, Bazza.
So you were 17 then, so you would have thought that we won the league every year, eh?
Aye, it was at the time, man. Now it's can feel it coming back now, hopefully, innit?
Got work to do, Basil. Still get some work to do.
Still get work to do, but aye.
We're getting there, Basil. Slowly but surely, eh?
It's much better than it was this time last year, man.
What players are you enjoying this year, or has it been since maybe Christmas time that we've had this wee sort of lift?
I don't know, I heard you talking about Windass now earlier on, but Windass annoys me so much, man. Like, you know he's got the skill.
Frustrating play.
He's just hides. I don't know if he hides, but he's not got the heart. And, you know what I mean? But I'm like Cummins and that, they're saying, so hopefully be Doherty and that'll be good. So, be Murphy and that, Rangers, blue noses, so that's all good for it, you know what I mean? We're going in the next Old Firm game, we've got a lot of teddy bears in that team, then we'll be like all the foreigners we had last year, we'll get pumped 5-1, no chance. You've got blue noses on there fighting for blue blood, you know what I mean? Wouldn't it? So that can't happen.
Aye, brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Is there anything you want to ask a panel or anything you want to do before? Because I recognise you're on the phone, mate.
No, mate, no, that's fine. I just wanted to phone in because I listen all the time, you know what I mean? Just, it's good talking to you anyway.
Brilliant, mate. Thanks very much.
Where are you from?
Clydebank.
Clydebank.
Oh, you're a Clydebank boy, are you?
Okay. Loyalist Clydebank.
Aye, like it, pal, like it.
No, it's actually Uncle Patrick, mate.
You're an okay man, are you? Okay.
It's kind of Glen Lawsuit, mate. Good Blue Nose pub in there.
Used to drink there, man. That was my pub.
Aye, it's still there, mate. It's still there. It's a good pub.
He's barred fate now, Bazza.
Alright, I'll still be listening on anyway.
Cheers, mate. Thanks very much, mate.
Alright, see you after.
Cheers,
right.
Cheers. We've also been joined by Fox. Evening, Fox.
Hello.
How we doing, mate? All right?
Aye, I'm fine.
All right, mate. Last shift of the week, yeah?
Last shift of the week out tomorrow night. Looking forward to it.
Yes.
Me and your old man on the Swally tomorrow night.
No. Don't try and use my old man as an excuse for where you're going.
Oh, is he going to the bad fire or no? Well, I'm with me, is he?
What did you make of that BBC story? I'll go to you first, then Mount, then Rudy. What did you make of it, mate? Is it sloppy, it's unprofessional? It's
No, I think it's just
agenda-driven.
Oh, of course, mate. Remember you and crazy woman, nobody had heard it, came out after the game with Hibs, mate, and accused Rangers supporters of doing all sorts of things. They're all taking wee turns at it. People you've never heard of, mate, come out, and that's a wee moment in the sun. But at least they had the balls to retract it, mate. But obviously the damage was done. It set the mad mob off in a mad fury of posting. They've went on to learn everything about Chinese tax laws, God knows what, no. So that'll be another feather to their bow, you know.
What'd you make it, Rudy?
I mean, sloppy doesn't even cover it, really, you know. I mean, Kennedy Nitsan, he's supposed to be one of their top sports reporters. You know, he follows Andy Wimbledon about the world and all that carry on, you know, commentating on the tennis and all sorts of stuff. And he's coming out with that utter garbage. You would have thought a journalist at that level would have checked his sources twice, 3 times, you know, to make sure that whatever he was going to be tweeting was going to be spot on, you know. But it couldn't have been any further from the truth. And it wouldn't surprise me if behind the scenes Rangers have got onto him or got onto the BBC and says you better get that retracted or we're going to wipe the flare with you, son. And I believe, like Bridgman has said in the past, that's what's going to have to happen. Eventually, in order to start putting a stop to all this, Rangers is going to have to make an example of one person. Just pick one of them and make an example of them for the lies that they tell, you know. But I think that's what's happened, you know.
Fair comment. If you'd asked me a few years ago, I'd have said it was sloppy journalism, but I've come into the thinking, mate, it's agenda-driven, mate. I feel it quite sad.
It's the BBC, isn't it? You know, and I mean, this is repeated stuff. It goes on and you know, it's just one thing after another with them. And as far as I know, people talk about wanting to have the BBC back at Ibrox and all that stuff, but no for me. The longer they're kept away from Ibrox, the better, as far as I'm concerned. You know,
Never.
Quite right, Rich.
Okay, Big Ulster.
If there's any way we could just keep them away from Ibrox forever, I'd be up for it, to be honest with you. I think the BBC's an absolute parasite, to be honest with you.
We're not missing them, mate. We're not missing them.
No, not at all.
Mount Vernon? On you go, Ulster. On you go.
No, it's just before you go to Mount, actually. I was just going to... This is what the BBC put up on Facebook today, their official BBC Sports Scotland page.
Let's hear it, mate.
Well, to start off with, as this is a fact, of course, Celtic FC rejected an inquiry from Crystal Palace for Dembele. Then they go on to say Rangers FC boss Graham Murray cast doubt on rumours that Chinese club Beijing made a £7 million offer for Morelos. So you can see they're reporting straight away. That their Crystal Palace thing, it's a fact. It happened. Ours is a rumour. So it just goes to show you the kind of reporting you're going to get from the BBC.
As I said, agenda-driven. Agenda-driven. Mount Vernon?
Let's look at BBC. What does it stand for? It stands for the British Broadcasting Corporation, right? It stands for impartiality. It stands for the world, so the society that we live in, which is Britain. Excuse me. It should be reporting on the facts. It shouldn't be reporting partisan. It should be reporting on the facts, on correct facts, and given the record at BBC Scotland. For me, guys, it's absolute disgrace that we pay we pay a tax towards this lot. It's a joke. We just can't keep these people away as far away from our club as possible. Bridgeman's right, and it's just get these people away from our club. They have no, they're just utter scumbags. This is a broadcaster who allows people, let's say how would we put it? Lets people who are bigots onto their programmes. That's a fact. I'm not going to name names, but they let people come onto political programmes and other programmes who are bigots, who have nothing against our community. The PL, the Protestant Unionist community, who have nothing but disdain and hatred towards our community, and that these people expect to be opened and welcomed into Ibrox. I hope for the next 20 years there's a boycott of these people, and they should never be near our club. Sorry, mate. I just see the day. It just summed up why this country is the way it's gone. You know, it's a wider issue for me, Oxshire, and I'm probably better leaving it there. You know.
Here, Mount. Here.
Fox, is it affecting us, mate? I mean, all the empty seats at Ibrox every home game. People going to buy strips, talking about the Rangers, selling everything else. It seems to be coming back. Is it affecting us?
Well, it seems to be widespread, mate. You're hearing it. I think people down in England, they don't see or read the attractions, mate. And it's painting a bad picture of our club. And it's constant, mate, for TalkSport radio sometimes, right through the newspapers up here, and every phone-in or football programme in Scotland seem to be biased against us. But I think it makes us stronger as a support, and it's binding us all together. And we will not surrender to them, mate.
Here, Fox. Here, Fox.
Ibrox Loyal, is it affecting us?
Definitely not, mate. Let's be honest about it, and we'll put it in words it actually is. It's fake news. It's poor fact checking. It took me less than 2 minutes to go into that Beijing Rennes squad list and check that they only had 3 non-Chinese players in their squad, so there was one space. Keridin Idsan, let's be honest, he's a terrace correspondent. He knows absolutely jack about football. Let's be honest about it. Let's put it in words that it is. He's got no idea about football. He should stick to tennis and non-related football facts. It's not affecting us because you're guaranteeing 50,000 Rangers supporters. You would probably get a lot more in if they could get in, if their stadium was bigger. They go out and buy strips. Me, myself, I went out and bought obviously the black strip and the red strip, and when the new home strip comes out for the start of the new season, I'll go out and buy that as well. I think it's absolutely poor journalism. Gutter press, mate. They get their information for the gutter, which is not worth the paper that it's printed on. It's why for the last 45 years I've not bought a newspaper, and I don't intend to buy one for the next 45 years. And hopefully by the time that is, there will be any newspaper, printed newspapers. But it's absolutely pathetic, and he's not obviously done his job right, mate, because you would go out and you would check it with at least, I would say, 2 to 3 decent sources, and he's not done that. So I think I just get
CC to check all mine.
Well, that's fair play, mate.
Loyal, I don't even know if he's got any sources.
On you go, Bridge.
No, I was just going to say, Loyal, I don't think, I don't know right enough, but I imagine that he's got no sources at all. Nobody's told him nothing. They've made the story up. They've picked it up from one of the fantasists that follow them across the city, and that's what I think.
They've
that's what
contacted them, Bridge. Or they'll have.
Well, they'll probably put 2 and 2 together and says, "There's no way Rangers are going to turn them."
for.
Absolutely.
It really is libelous. I mean, it's, if you were to say that about a company or an organisation or anything to do with the public sphere or a work related instance. So if you were to say to, for instance, your competitor, for instance, if you went onto a public forum such as LinkedIn or other platforms like a social media platform, and you said that your competitor has not won this contract, when in fact your competitor has won this contract, that would be then libelous in the law. Why is Rangers allowing these people who are paid public servants? Let's get it right here. Paid public servants, these guys are, to come on and write rubbish, write lies, just utter lies about our club. It's wrong, and for me, guys, the club must do something about this. The club can't let these people. Are you assuming
the club haven't done anything about it, man?
I can understand that, but publicly the club has got to be seen to take these people to task, because ultimately it's like anything else. When you take a bully to task...
What did they say at the AGM? What did the club say at the AGM? Whether you believe it or you don't believe it, what did they say at the AGM?
I understand what you're saying, but it's...
The club can't take everybody... I mean, that's the question I'm asking. That guy, if that's his personal Twitter account, right? He's put it out there. And he's obviously come back and apologised wrongly, but as a journalist, it's magnified 100-fold because people look at it differently. So their argument...
Just quickly, you look at these head cases, right, who are saying admin 2, or this, we all know who we're talking about here, right? Why is individuals like these people allowed to print and post these things on the internet when we all know it's utter libelous? For me, guys, somebody like him, these type of individuals should be taken to task by the club. And I'll tell you, if it was, I think the media would take a hint and say, do you know what, we need to then start reporting accurately, fairly. I just think it's madness that the club allow these idiots to print lies about them. If it was across at Hingy at Parkhead, they wouldn't be allowed to print these lies because they've not got the bottle to do it. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say, is that the club needs to stand up and make it self-counted. If this guy Jim Traynor or whatever his role within the club is, he must stand up and he has got to take these people to task and potentially look at legal action against some of these idiots.
He's only an employee of the club. And I think Larky hit the nail on the head. A lot of accountants, Larky said a long time ago, a lot of accountants, we maybe need a lawyer on the board. Rudy?
Aye, I mean, Mount's making a great point there. I mean, I agree with him 100%. And I've said it time and time again. This stuff is going to keep happening until the club grows a pair. I'm not interested in what's happening behind the scenes, I mean, they probably got onto the BBC or got onto Kerry-Dean in the day and said, look, you better retract that because, that's complete and utter lies. But the point I was making as well as Mount was making it, the point I was making was I'd pick one of them and make an example of him. That's what I would do. I'd start off with just one. You don't have to go fighting the whole battlefield. You just need to pick one of them and make an example of them and say to them, right, that's it, enough's enough. That's a lie you've printed there, and drag them up to court. That's what I would do with one.
Anyway, Rudy, we'll get our caller coming in. Evening, caller.
Hi, Ox. How you doing, bud?
All right, Martin, how you doing, mate?
Not bad, not bad.
What's on your mind, mate?
Well, it was something that you were talking about there, and see, because of my job, I don't get to watch a lot of Rangers, or I don't buy papers.
I appreciate you work shifts, Martin. I appreciate that. Yeah.
So see, I'll be honest with you guys. I've always thought there was a slight overreaction to the whole media thing. But I don't get to hear a lot of the media stuff. And it's only really been the last couple of months that I've invested in a wee radio for the bus so I can listen to the football when I'm working. And mostly Radio Scotland, guys, I've got to say, I'm picking up on Mount's point, I pay a licence fee. So when I'm at work, I want to listen to the football. But over the last few months, I've noticed a really, really, really bad bitterness towards Rangers, especially on Radio Scotland. Sorry, guys, I've just ran up and downstairs. I'm absolutely knackered.
Thought you were driving your bus.
Oh no, I've got the night off.
Careful with that running, Martin. It's no good
It
for
must
you,
be
mate.
It must be a single decker you work on if you're carrying up downstairs.
Oh, honestly, 28 going on 58. But no, my point is, that's the only option I've got to listen to what's happening with Rangers. And
wait a minute, man. Wait a minute, Martin. Come on. You'll get the bridge on here.
No, but I can't use my data when I'm driving a bus.
All right, okay.
I'm talking about
unlimited data then.
I can't afford that, also. I'm just a measly bus driver. I'm talking about, see when there's a game on and you want to hear the score, you want to hear a bit of commentary, the only option that we've got is either Clyde One or Radio Scotland. And it's becoming harder and harder and harder to listen to these shows when you've got folk like Tom English and William Miller who every 5 seconds are putting our club down. And I always thought that a lot of guys on the show were slightly overreacting, but I get it now. And it's getting harder and harder as a Rangers fan to put up with it.
What's the answer, Martin? No to listen, hurt them that way, or do we take them on?
I honestly don't know if you could. This is an organisation, the BBC, who came out and said, we're not going to go to Ibrox, we're not interested in Rangers. And then I can't remember how long ago it was. Rangers and Celtic were both playing at the same time, and the BBC 810 medium wave chose to commentate on a game at Ibrox that they were watching. How they were watching, I don't know. And the Rangers game was on the TV, the Celtic game wasn't, and they still commentated on the Rangers game. So this is the kind of people that you're dealing with. How do you take that on?
Well, they'll be commentating on the Rangers game so the Celtic fans can listen.
That's a fair point, actually.
Martin, can I come in on that, Martin?
On you go. Sorry, Martin.
Just to say, I know, because I followed and hate them. I hate them with a vengeance, the BBC, so I'm not going to bore you with that. I know that what they do over the last 2 years, that they've had this dispute with Rangers, they pick up the TV feed into their studios, and they comment. They say they're commenting live commentary, giving live commentary from Ibrox, whereas in fact what they're doing is they're sitting in an office or a room with a couple of guys, and they're watching the telly, and they're getting their commentary on it. Basically, that's what they're doing for the radio. That's how they're getting it on there, and it's easier for them because, as just as Ox said, most people want to know what's happening with the Rangers, don't they? Because it's the truth, you know.
Guys,
Wait a minute. Whoa.
Sorry.
On you go, Martin. On you go, mate.
I was going to say, see if the BBC had any sort of standards, and whether they're right or they're wrong, and they say, Rangers have done this, we're not going to Ibrox, we're not going to commentate on anything, then do that. Don't then go, we're not interested in Rangers, and then whilst the Celtic game's on at the same time, it's not on television, sit and watch a screen and commentate as if you're at Ibrox. You know, that's the kind of organisation that we're dealing with, guys.
Yeah.
I would love them to open the door. This is what I want them to do. I want the BBC, I want us to force the BBC to open the door to say, we don't want the BBC at Ibrox for any reason. And we don't want Rangers being shown on TV, normal TV, by the BBC. We just don't want it. So take your highlights programme and stuff it, and so on and so forth. So that all they're going to do is leave Rangers alone. And
it's
what I would like
deal.
Rangers
That's
to do,
the trouble is,
of course it is. It would need to be the BBC that does it, right? The BBC would need to be the ones that do it, and we have to maybe force their hand there. However, once they've done it, we could possibly then ourselves look for Rangers TV to be broadcast live at 3:00 instead of waiting, and it can only be broadcast outside Scotland for saying sake, you know. So let's get that. If we can get into that there, we got Rangers TV, and you'll just see a huge swathe of people just picking up Rangers TV, and that's for sure. I'd like something like that to happen.
Well, one at a time. Who was coming in there? Was it Mount that was coming in?
Yeah, that's coming in, guys. I think see platforms like ourselves, Rangers Radio. I think you Oxy and Fox would reiterate this. These platforms now, the mass public are starting to move away from what they call mass media into what they call the social side of media. You know, for fans, run by the fans, because ultimately it's not fake news you're getting, it's an opinion based on, you know, facts.
Well, you might get the odd bit of fake news now.
Well, don't get me wrong. As I said, it's no harm in our club. We're no harm in our club. And what I'm trying to say is that I think platforms like ourselves and other social media platforms will go strength to strength, because people. I mean, there's some guys mentioning some other platforms in the lobby. These type of platforms will go strength to strength because the people just don't want to listen. These people are getting, you know, people are, the amount of records and Evening Times that are getting sold. I mean, I'll be surprised if they're here in 5 years, a newspaper, a physical newspaper. It's good because, you know what, these people are dying off, and you know what, I cannot wait till they die off into the going into whatever they want to do, because you know what, we'll still be here, and our club will still even be stronger as well.
I think they're dying off even if we weren't in conflict with them, Rudy Bear. It's just a change in society, yeah?
I think it's a good point that Mount makes there. You know, social media has played a huge part in this, and the sort of rise in social media in the last sort of 10, 15 years, I think, has played a huge part in it. I don't buy the papers any longer. I stopped buying them a couple of years ago. I couldn't stomach reading them anymore. I couldn't stomach paying the wages of some of the journalists that write for the likes of the Record and the Sun and people like that. I don't buy them, don't take anything to do with them. I don't want to know any of the garbage that they're printing. I mean, a perfect example of that for me was that Jane Hamilton after the cup final. The absolute garbage.
I'll tell you a story about that. I'll tell you a true story about that. See what she was talking about. Exactly what she was talking about. Me, Fox, my lad, and Bridgeman were standing there. We were standing within 10 yards of where she said all this was happening.
Well, just the same person, the same journalist, Ox, just a few short months after that, won a journalism award. So there you go. That's the kind of country that we're living in. And she's not the only one. There's other ones done the same thing, come out with garbage, told out-and-out lies, and won a... I mean, I know you've got to mention his name. He's a cretin. He works for the Daily Record. He won Journalist of the Year last year, and some of the absolute garbage that he spouted over the last 5-6 years about Rangers has just been absolutely shameful, and yet one's Journalist of the Year. You know, it's just laughable. I mean, it'd be laughable if it wasn't so serious, but it is serious because it paints, people paint our club and us as a support in a certain light. You know,
Rudy,
it's an agenda.
See when the tunes come on, it sounds as if you've got a loose jack or something, mate. It's all coming through, it's crackling just when you talk, mate.
Oh, is it? Right.
Can I come back in there, Oxy? Just
on you go. Right, we'll give Bridge the last first, just before we go to the tunes, because obviously we want to change the subject. I think we're all in agreement. It's agenda.
It's just to say this, that what we're speaking about is, shall we say, people coming in now and picking up spaces or little niches, particularly in radio. For instance, there's a new radio station started up this week, and it's Ali McCoist and Mark McGee on TalkSport, right? It's Scottish football on TalkSport. So that started up at 7 o'clock, between 7 and 8 every night. That's what I'm led to believe. Also, the Rocksport Radio, that's between 6 and 8. So that's a direct
station, Bridge.
I'm saying that it's in direct competition with the likes of the BBC. They're at 6:30 to 7:30, but Red Radio Clyde. Now, the truth of the matter is, guys, the probability is they probably won't ever be as in their own right as popular with the other mob that's across the city as what Clyde is. Clyde, what I'd like to do is I'd like all the Rangers fans not to speak to Clyde at all. Don't phone them. Don't do anything. Just leave them. Let them drift. All they're going to do is talk about themselves, and that'll just it might just kill them. To be honest, because they need opinion. They need different opinions. They need to be able to spout that 10 Rangers fans have phoned up here and said X, Y, and Z. I don't know how the Ali McCoist show will go. If he's got a good balance with him and Mark McGee, it might actually work for them. I don't know. But Rock Sport sounds as if it's going to be a cracking wee show. So we'll see how that.
I listen to it every night, but 6 till 8 it's on. I listen to it, and it's proper football chat, no agendas. They talk about Rangers, Celtic, any other, whatever's happening in Scottish football, they talk about it, and it's always good, honest football chat. It's a great wee station. I would advise any bear that hasn't heard it yet, and you're getting sick of listening to Radio Snide, have a wee listen to it and give them a go and see what you think, because I think they're a great bunch of guys.
Oh,
I'll second that.
And you go, Martin.
Can I see just after the tunes? Could I just quickly ask one more question?
If it's anything to do with money, no.
I've not got it.
All right. Too hard. All right. You've got to remember that Ibrox Loyal's on, Martin.
Oh, how you doing, Ibrox? How's the love life?
All right, mate. How's it going, Martin?
He took your
Don't
job
ask him
off you,
about a love
Martin.
life, Martin.
He's much better at the job than me anyway, Ox.
He took your job off you.
I'm still waiting on all that sick pay for Fox.
Excuse me.
Fox
I'm
and
going on
money.
mute on that one.
Fox and part my money. Bridge is worse, but Bridge is worse. Anyway, lads, anybody just before we go to the tunes want to finish off the BBC? Because I think we're all pretty much in agreement.
Could I just quickly ask one question then?
On you go.
It's just for guys like myself who drive for a living. The only option that we've got is a bit of radio. So how do we then, if we don't have access to the internet, listen to scores coming in? There was a commentary game on. What do you think we can do?
Talk Sport's good, and as I said to you, they
don't
cover a lot of things.
They don't have a lot of
I don't know
Scottish
specifically
coverage
in Scotland. I'm
They
saying
don't
that I
have a
don't know if they do a lot in Scotland. So
not during the games. It's always English.
Well,
You get
if MD Ox feels like they're good enough to do a commentary on Rangers games, we'll accommodate them here.
Yeah, well done, pal.
Me and Ibrox Loyal at it, man. That I could laugh at.
I would love it, mate. Anytime, mate. Anytime you're
They pay your licence, Loyal.
Hey, Ibrox, I'll give you two words. Nabani and Rossiter, mate. You know what I mean?
To be fair, the sun was in his eyes, Rudy. Anyway, if you don't mind going on mute, we'll have a tune. Thanks for that, Fox.
Well, I'm exhausted with that.
We'll go back to Martin's point. Maybe the club to look at. I don't know about radio broadcast unit as well as the RTV pictures. That's a fair comment because not everybody has got access to everything daily or all the time, mate. But you don't get free Wi-Fi on your bus, Martin.
Not for the company I work for, no.
No, all right, mate, all right.
I think you're pretty limited, Martin, in what you can listen to, really, aren't you? You know, because it's basically just what you can get on the radio frequencies, isn't it, mate? And there's no that. It's like you say, it's either Radio Clyde or Radio Scotland, you know. So you're kind of limited, unfortunately.
Well, Rock Sport Radio is an actual radio station. If
But
you've
they
got
don't
radio,
cover the games, mate.
I'm saying that, but I don't know if they do that kind of cover. That's right enough, you know.
Because you need to pay money. You need to pay money to the SFA.
No, I think Rocksport's only Monday to Friday, Bridge. I think with Rocksport.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
I think they do a Saturday show as well, guys.
Put that lighter down.
I think they do a Saturday show as well. So they do. I listened to it on Saturday there, so I did. Because one of my good mates is a presenter on there, so yes.
You need to pay. You need to pay the league to cover their games.
Yeah. You would need. I think there's the rights as well. I think only the BBC. I think Clyde One had the rights at one point, but I think BBC have got them now. So I think they're up for grabs every couple of years. I think but.
You used to get the odd game on Clyde too.
One at a time. Martin, then Bridgeman.
No, I was just saying you used to get the odd game on commentary game on Clyde too, but like the guys are saying, you're limited. It's either Radio Scotland or Radio Clyde, and it's who do you pick?
When we win the league, mate, it'll be a different ball game. They'll all have to bow. Who's making the tea?
Me. Sorry, guys.
This is live radio, by the way.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Why listen to BBC when you can listen to Bridge making the white tea?
Many sugar, Bridge, instance.
Don't encourage him, mate. Don't encourage him. Anyway, I've been trying to hold this one back as long as possible. I was hoping
I don't go there.
The SFA correspondent would be here. He could be busy. The story that broke today, Reagan resigned. Why, Fox? Why did he resign?
What Reagan would be talking about, mate? Stuart Reagan, not the American president.
He's dead.
I know, but you could have been talking about his resignation, couldn't you? I don't really think he's done a very good job. He's been in there for 8 years. I don't think many fans like him or like what he done for the game. And I don't think it's... I've seen his part in comment that he's changed the game in Scotland. Well, I'd agree with that. I think he's changed it for the worse, mate. He's been libel's puppet ever since the first day he was in there. And now whatever he seems to have upset them for, the and the press have decided to force him out. Let's wait and see who the next puppet comes along.
Aye. What will we be remembered for, Rudy Bear?
Very little, I would imagine, because he's done very little.
The worst period in Scottish football's history?
Well, it looks like it, aye. I mean, he should have stood up to all the haters. So he should have, 5 years ago, he should have stood up to them. So he should have known that what was going to happen was going to be the worst thing that could happen to the top league of Scottish football in this country. And he didn't do it because he didn't have the backbone to do it, and he went along with it. Him and all his cronies at the SFA. So for me, he's done very little. I don't think that's about the only thing he will be remembered for. One of the worst periods in Scottish football, And then they talk about sponsorship and all that. There was no sponsorship when we weren't in the top league. We weren't in the Premier League. It's only since Rangers have come back into the Premier League they've managed to sort out some sponsorship. So that tells you all you need to know. Surely he should have known. The SFA should have known that was going to happen. That's exactly what was going to happen. But followed the sponsorship, So for me, I'm glad he's gone. I think he should have went years ago. I don't even think. I mean, he was a cricket man originally, wasn't he? I don't even think he should have been in the position in the first place. I don't think he should have been in the position. But I'm glad he's gone.
I don't think you've been fair there, Rudy. I don't think they needed sponsorship with all the grunge being sold.
Sell out Saturdays, eh?
Well, you know that they'll only be in denial when you say these things. They would just be in denial, say it never happened.
Okay,
of course. Attendances were all up. That's what they'll say. I don't know where they get the figures from, but that's what they'll say.
Mentalists.
I mean, I heard some real crackpots away back then saying, Tims who were talking about how if Celtic were playing away and they couldn't get tickets to go to the game, they'd fill all the other, they'd go to Partick Thistle and all this stuff, all this garbage, the stuff they had absolutely no intentions in doing. And they never done it, obviously, because they were talking mince, they had no intentions of doing it, But, the SFA allowed this to happen. The SAV should have put their foot down. Under his watch. Aye. They could have put their foot down and stopped all that from happening, but they didn't. They went along with it. So good riddance to bad rubbish as far as I'm concerned.
Are we happy that he's gone?
I am. Yes. Totally, completely. Aye.
Ibrox Loyal.
I think it's been a total and utter embarrassment for the last 8 years. Scottish football history. It's going to go down. The one that I'll use, I think the last managerial appointment was a joke. Didn't think it was international managerial class. He never had a clue about international management. How when they were away players for a short amount of time, you need a manager who can get right in there, right in about it. The last manager didn't have a clue. I think what ended his career was the putting all the eggs into one basket with the Michael O'Neill trying to get him appointment. I think one of the former SFA chief executive, Gordon Smith, described it as the situation as an embarrassment. I think it's worse than that. I think you can't get the 8 years back again. And let's be honest, that takes a long time to go over. The last 8 years that's going to take, I think, at least between 10 and 20 years going to get over. I've not followed Scotland in a number of years for personal reasons that I'll keep to myself at this moment in time. But his appointment was wrong and an embarrassment. And not that I follow the Scottish international football anymore, but I'm just glad that he's no longer in post.
Okay, I'll take this one to Bridgman. So he's leaving the job. Hampden's no fit for purpose. Where teams are an absolute failure in Europe, including Moray, where the Scottish managerial post has become a joke. The Scottish football team's maybe one of its lowest ebbs ever in history. Rudy said we failed to get sponsorship for our top league. I know that's not just his priority, SFA, but it's part of the cabal. At the Showpiece final 2 seasons ago, there was a riot that wasn't dealt with properly under his watch. Anybody think anything else?
No, I think the last statement you made there about the nonsense against the Rangers Hibs final, it was a huge big carpet. They lifted it up and they just poured all the shit down that carpet, and they allowed the police to take something like 12 to 15 months to arrest people using photographic evidence. And it just went on and on and on, never ending, absolutely never ending. And still, Hibs have never been asked to come up and answer any questions. They've never even been asked a question about it. Nothing. There's never been an investigation or an inquiry. Absolutely nothing. Simply because they all know it was there in front of them. And all they've done is try to arrest as many of our side and their side so they can make it equal. And I think that's what they've done there. And it's nothing short of disgraceful. And I personally, I'm really delighted that the guy is going to leave or he's left. My only sad tinge in this, and I say this with a heavy heart when I say this, I'm not sure if he was actually secretly supporting Rangers when it came to this 5-way agreement thing and all the rubbish about getting put out of the game and all that nonsense. I'm not dead sure whether he was actually backing us there. I hope he was. No, we'll never know.
I'll ask you another question. Obviously, the Michael O'Neill debacle and Big Ulster will be delighted that he's stayed and managed his own country. I think that's the right thing for somebody to do personally. But the week that is broke that it's between Hampden and Murrayfield to be the national stadium and it's no went to a club in Glasgow. Is there any coincidence in that, Fox?
Could have a bearing on why they get rid of him, mate.
Are you saying then that they've got rid of him as opposed to him resigning? Are you doubting the resignation?
Aye, of course, I doubt the resignation, okay. Mate. He's been forced out to me. I think a lot of people would agree with that. Was he also in charge during the referee strike as well?
Yes, he was.
Was that another shambles? Aye, another
one of his first jobs was to bring in the foreign referees.
Quality, yeah.
Aye,
on you go, Ivor.
No, sorry, mate. I just think with the Regan thing, mate, it just went for disaster everything that seems to have happened under his tender seems to have just built on each other, and that is why at this time he's just been forced out the door, mate. I don't see any other way about it, and I can only say good riddance to it. And hopefully we actually get somebody decent that actually knows about football, rather than somebody that's just basically an admin official, because I think that's all he's been. He's been a puppet, and he only works for one master. Let's be honest, he's only got one puppet master, in the good side of Glasgow. Let's put it that way.
Can I ask Foxy one question here? You know, when you mentioned, Fox, that the decision to go or to rule out Rangers and Celtic for
who's basically orchestrated a non-league sponsor for probably the same length of time. This is a guy who's took Scotland to probably the Scottish national team to an all-time low, probably. He's also managed to make a backsidey a draw. Had to do it again. This is what happens when, as you said, it's a cabal. This is Scottish football in a nutshell. It is utterly run for one club in this country. And see, when we get back to that top, we need to take Scottish football back for all Scottish football, not just one club. And see the likes of Dundee United, yeah, I think there's maybe a wee bit of news broke as well about their chairman. See clubs like that, clubs like Hibernian, clubs like all the wee clubs that took a snide dig at us. I can't wait till they go out of business, because you know what, they've got that man, Ray Gunn, and his other pal to thank for it. I can't wait. Aye, or Doncaster, as I like to call it. Sorry, Oxshire. That's a reverend man. A reverend.
Martin?
It's Big Al that's in the call, mate.
Oh, it's a Big Al. Sorry, Big Al. I didn't know. I didn't realise the call had changed.
I'm doing stuff on the computer here. Good evening, gentlemen.
How you doing,
Paranoia. So I'm hearing for you here, boys. One way that will alleviate the problem of the BBC, Reagan, Lywell, them all, is we start winning games, we start winning league titles, and we start winning cups. We're successful in Europe. And everything else will fall into place, and nothing else really matters to us, does it? As Rangers fans, nothing else really matters to me. I don't care about the diaspora in Scotland. They can say what they want. I can see through it. The BBC, they'll come into line. I think there was murmurings during the week, was there not? That was
King had a meeting with
Mr. King. I had a meeting, so it's kind of funny since then if it was true or it wasn't true, but things seem to have changed, because maybe a week ago we wouldn't have seen a retraction or an apology for Kerrida and Aitzin. So maybe things are changing. Maybe somebody said we've got five accountants. I think the first thing we should go and do, and it would is go to Cowden and Beath and get Donald Finlay QC, get a prominent QC on our board, and I think that'll keep the wolves at bay, because I know there'll be a fair challenge to anything that's said about them. So one game and we'll be fine.
I think you're right, mate. If we were sitting a two above at the moment in the league, a few points in hand, the press, the media would treat you differently. I think that's a fact, Hal. But I still think there's an agenda. I'm with you in some respects. I couldn't see it long before a lot of people were saying it, and then all of a sudden there's too much Al. There's too many misquotes. There's too many fake news. There's too much on the national site, in the national papers, and it's all just crap after crap. And it's only because we do this and we're looking for stuff, and you see it all the time. You go, that's wrong. That's not right. And you say, why have they printed that? That's not right. And that's where you say, this is agenda driven.
As you know yourself, man, Anti is corrupt to the core. All that stuff with Savile and things like that is corrupt to the core, and it has been for 100 years. But it is very disappointing because I think it was one of the callers was saying, I mean, it is the British Broadcasting Corporation. It's held in high esteem in every other country in the world. All through Africa, Asia, it's held as a figurehead, as an impartial medium that you can receive. I listen to the World Service every night. I'm going to my scratcher just to give me a wee bit. And to me, it's pretty impartial. You can go to other media outlets and get a Republican view on it. In America with your Fox, you can go to other ones, CNN, and get the view of the Democrats. And certain radio stations within the UK are similar, go along kind of party lines. But the BBC, when you're outside the country, I think is impartial. I know there is an issue in the UK, and I know there is an issue specifically in the west of Scotland, I think. But look, I don't really concern myself or bother myself too much, because I just want to see a club drive on, get rid of the sickness that's been at a club. And just constantly win games, because the detractors cannot then take that away from you. They cannot take it away from you. So I would just like to see that.
Well, and some of this, there has been times when we've had own goals, Al, and some of the reporting might have been fair, but due criticism.
Oh.
But it's all the slide digs, yeah?
Aye, but Fanny's mentioned as well, they're bullies. They'll soon go back under the carpet when we're back in a prominent position of power. That's definite. That's definite. I think you're right. A bully will run away. He'll run away.
All right. Are you back with us, Martin?
Aye, can you hear me all right? Aye.
Aye, you're fine, mate. Fine. Seeing he's coming back in. Last word to you on the BBC, or anybody else getting the ad?
Can I come in on that BBC? Oh, sorry.
On you go,
Martin, mate.
On you go, Bridge.
Okay.
I don't really have anything to add.
No, I was just going to say to Al, for instance, it's not what you're seeing, what you hear, the World Service and so on and so forth, is a completely different world away from the BBC Scotland. BBC Scotland's a standalone entity within the BBC. Sorry?
I listen to them all, but...
only on the internet, per se. No, what you're saying is you're listening to BBC... Okay, all right. I'm trying to say to you, BBC Scotland, within the BBC, it's a standalone organisation, and the BBC in general don't get involved in it. Hence the reason why no matter how many complaints go down to BBC London, for saying sake, and ask, what they do is they send the letter or a complaint back to Scotland, BBC Scotland again. That's one of the reasons why it never gets looked at properly.
I'm aware of that.
It needs a big inquiry and within the BBC, totally like a Jimmy Savile type inquiry as to what's going on in BBC Scotland. That's what it really needs. Right, sorry, Martin, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. Right, that's it done. We'll want to come to another story about our fans, and Bridges got a statement to read it.
This is a club statement for the issue last night at Fraserburgh, and it's about the tickets. And the club has said Rangers have been contacted by a number of supporters regarding them being refused entry to last night's match at Fraserburgh. Rangers are extremely disappointed and have sympathy with those supporters who, after having made the long journey to Fraserburgh, found that they were denied entry with genuine tickets. An allegation that counterfeit tickets were in circulation is a serious matter, and Rangers will comment further after a full debrief is held with Police Scotland and Fraserburgh Football Club. End of statement.
All right, it'd be great to hear from anybody who got refused entry last night with a ticket. What's the number, Ibrox?
It's 0141 356 1972.
And where else can they join us, Fox?
RangersRadio.online on Skype. Just call in and I'll bring you into the programme.
All right, so this is something we picked up on last night. There was about, I think, between 150 and 200 Rangers supporters never get into the Grun, and some of the stories I was reading today, they weren't even treated well at the time. I can understand the police have got a job today, their health and safety responsibilities kick in, but there's a way of treating people, but I don't know how you compensate somebody who's maybe two days after work, want to go up, want to come back, made a trip here, and then all of a sudden doesn't even get to see the main event. Mount Vernon.
Yeah, some of my fellow RAC members made the long trip up to the Fraserburgh. To put it in perspective, I've seen one of the other RACs had 20 members with tickets, with official tickets. 8 of them get in, and the others 12 refused. This isn't good enough, guys. You know, again, you know, the Romantic Cup and all that. Again, another inept performance by another Scottish club. Again, Police Scotland out in force with police dogs, with, you know, riot gear, you know, major resources. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's just, again, every away match you go to, there's police filming young boys. There's last night as well, sort of on the way to Dingwall on Sunday, the buses were getting pelted air for having drink on board towards a football match. I don't see the latest rugby matches getting pelted air. You know, the buses and all that getting pelted air. It's just an absolute joke, mate. I've said it for day one. Our away supporters, the most loyal support you'll ever find. I think it's something silly now, but it's over 100 odd matches we've set out our away allocation. Our supporters get treated like absolute dirt for Police Scotland and with the clubs themselves that we go to fund, should I say? And something has to be done with it. I've seen a lot of the Bears being onto the SLO officer. I don't believe he was in attendance at the match. For me, that is an absolute disgrace as well. The SLO officers there as a conduit between ourselves and the police.
Don't judge Mike before we know the facts. I mean,
absolutely. That's absolutely.
He's only one guy. Anything could happen. He could have a family problem, or it could have been poverty.
Absolutely.
Anything.
My understanding of his role was that in situations like this, he is a conduit between the police, the club, and Fraserburgh, and that was my understanding of his role on a match day from what I've heard. I can understand that Mr. Marshall's role is to you know, do what he's got to do, but as I said, for me, guys, again, our loyal fans, I think it was about 4.5 hours it took them to get up there, and then to get knocked back at the gate. It just sums up Scottish football in a nutshell for me. Sorry, mate, I'm just passionate about it because it's.
They were the lucky ones, the ones that never get in were the lucky ones.
I'm just passionate, mate, because I'm part of an RSC and I understand the problems that we go through, the crap that we've got to take to go and support our team. I'm just passionate about it, mate, and I don't really think I don't think sometimes people realise how bad the situations are for away grounds for some of the boys that we see. You know. Sorry, mate.
Fox.
I think we need to call it for what it was, mate. It was other Rangers supporters defrauding people, other Rangers supporters out the privilege of watching the game, mate. That's the whole truth of it. I don't think Fraserburgh are at fault. I don't think Rangers are at fault. Health and safety must tell them how many they can let through the turnstiles. And it's the people with the Ford's tickets, mate, are the blame and nobody else.
Anyway, we've been joined by Ryan. I think Ryan, I know he was going up to the original tie. I take it, knowing him, he's went to last night's game. Evening, Ryan.
How you doing, guys? You all right, Ox?
Right.
All right, mate.
How's it going?
You got up last night, did you?
I was there last night, mate.
Right, give us your story, mate. Give us your story.
I was one of the unfortunate ones who...
Get in.
the time I got to the Grun, it was looking like we were going to be refused entry. I think the queue was kind of halfway down the street. It got to about 10 to 8, but this time the police had been trying to step in. There was women and kids were actually in tears because there was nearly getting squashed. Can just say the treatment for Police Scotland was an absolute disgrace. We were treated with absolute disdain. For me, I heard Mount there. Mount, the SLO was there, mate. To be fair to him,
I beg
he came out, mate. He came out, and to be fair, the guy was trying everything he could. He was trying to answer people's questions. He was getting a lot of stick directed at him. Can
I just run quick? I take back then obviously the comments I made with Greg. I do apologise about that, Oxja.
Big learning curve, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be fair though, very, very disappointed that he's not said anything on social media today. I've emailed him personally as well. He's also the Rangers SLO email address. He's not got back to me, as I know others have. Others have been, sending him tweets and stuff all day, and all he's done all day is retweet the official statement for Rangers. Totally just absolutely gutted. I mean, yeah, I heard Fox here as well. I mean, the guys with the fake tickets and stuff like that. Listen, if I didn't have a ticket myself, I'd have took a fake, so I'm not going to blame the guys who got fakes and went up there. To me, the problem was the stewarding and the policing. It's their fault. They let it get to the situation it was. Anybody with a fake ticket, the fake ticket should have been sorted out, and they should have been allowed entry. But for not getting into the Grun, pals of mine who were inside the Grun were actually sending me photos round about where they were standing, saying, "Look at all this room here." I've absolutely no idea why nobody else is getting allowed into the Grun. There was so much room round about where they were all standing there, so it's an absolute disgrace. As I say, people getting crushed, people getting abused. It was just absolutely horrible. They then kind of opened the gate a wee bit as if they were going to let us all in and told us, right, on we go, let's go. And to actually realise that they were actually trying to get us out the other side of the Harris fence to get us out of the wee bit of the stadium, basically, to no give entry into the ground. So, absolutely disgusting, disappointed. Half day for work yesterday, bus left at 12:30. Get home last night at 3 a.m. and didn't even get into the game. It's just an absolute disgrace.
So who do we go to for compensation there? SFA are in charge of that tie ultimately, yeah?
I've no idea, mate. I asked the question of the SLO, what's going to happen. I mean, we were even asking him, is the kick-off going to get delayed? His response was, there's no chance the game's going to get delayed because it's basically its own telly. So Sky won't, they won't facilitate holding the game back. So, once again, the fans are secondary. The fans come secondary to everything and anything that's going on. I've no idea. I've no confidence in Rangers as a club refunding me personally for my ticket. Our bus yesterday, guys, we had 21 people in a 50-seater, and our bus cost £630. And out of the 21, there was at least 8 years that didn't get into the game, maybe even more. So it's just an absolute disgrace, shocking. Everything connected with that day, it was just an absolute nightmare.
By the way,
how can I ask a question on this?
You were a lucky one that never got in, right?
Mate, we got to the pub. I seen we got to the pub in the 44th minute because that's the time or the carry on and all that took. We got there in the 44th minute. As you can imagine as well, the pub was absolutely ram-packed with I think it was about 100, 150 that never get in. So there was a point in time I was saying, oh God, thank God I didn't get in there, man. The game looked absolute shocking. I never got to see much of it, to be honest, but poor performance. But I didn't next round of the cup, but to me, secondary, I was just absolutely scunnered yesterday with what happened. Utterly scunnered, and
one thing
we'll not get our money back.
One thing you can't buy is time, mate, and that's the thing. You've wasted a lot of time. That's not what you're up for. I know I was taking the mickey a wee bit, saying you were lucky not getting in, but that's not what you went for. Bridgeman?
I was going to ask the question about these tickets, and counterfeit tickets have been going on for years and years and years. But particularly last night, this is probably for the amount of people that were in the stadium. There must have been an awful lot of police per head, if you follow what I mean. And there was only allegedly there was only 350 Rangers tickets sold for that game. That was their allocation. Forgive me if I'm wrong. It might be 300, but I think it was 350. So what are we saying that there was half of them were half of the people that got in, Rangers fans, if there was 350, and half of them had illegal tickets or counterfeit tickets? And the question I've got to ask is, how do they know if they're supposed to have done checking? What were they checking to find out if they were illegal or counterfeit? And how did they pass? There was
a guy who went in front of me who had a fake ticket, and the steward right away. The usual first barrier was a steward, so you show him your ticket. It was a wee bit like Celtic Park for the last game there. You went up before you kind of hit the turnstiles. You had to go through a wee barrier. Guy was asking for your ticket and checking your ticket. So there was a wee hologram, a wee kind of silver hologram on the real ticket, and the fake ticket had a grey kind of wee circle where the hologram was. So right away, as soon as he went up, he's looked at the guy's ticket and went, "Sorry mate, you're not getting in. That's a fake." He said, "Oh, how do you know it's a fake?" And he says, "Well," and he showed the wee hologram. So I think by that time they were already well aware that there's maybe been a bit of trouble here. There's maybe been overcrowding in the stadium and also there's fake tickets going about. So I don't know if that's I don't know how it's came about, but I don't know how we eradicate the problem. I don't know how it goes away. I don't know how I don't know what can be done about it. I've no idea. What I was disgraced about was there was a wee side door next to the police cordon, and the police were actually getting through the door and into the stand where the Rangers fans were, and they were actually pulling Rangers fans out of the ground with real tickets. There was one guy who was getting pulled out who was saying he was in I think he was saying he got an official ticket for somebody at the club, and basically they were like, "We don't care, you're out." So I don't know if they were getting in, and I think they were just picking people out and just pulling them out, whether they had a fake ticket or a real ticket, and basically ejecting them for the ground.
Disgraceful.
See, the thing is, guys, this is a sharp end of what guys like myself and Ryan. Me and Ryan were up at Dingwall, and we seen the heavy-handed by the police. It was similar actions at Dingwall. It's everywhere we go as a supporter group. We're subject to these things. We're subject to bus getting pulled here. See, on the way up to Dingwall, there was two stops. One just by Perth and one at Aviemore to get pulled in and to get the buses checked for drink and all that. It's not just at the ground. It's away from the grounds as well.
That's been on for 40 years, man.
I understand that, but understand that, mate. But it's the levels it's happening. It's just not right. And guys like Ryan will testament to that. Do you know what I mean?
Can I come in?
I think the whole thing's disgraceful. I hope that Rangers, now that they know, and they're investigating this, they've got to investigate it with the police. And all these stories as given as evidence as to what the police were doing, because they got no right to treat people like that. No right. You can't go into. You shouldn't be able to go into a ground and take somebody out that's got a genuine ticket. That's just not right. No matter what anyone says, just not right.
Bridge, there was not a police officer. There was nobody was willing to talk to you. There was the attitude for them was a disgrace. We were all wanting to know what was happening. They were getting in. Can we at least get the wains through that were getting crushed, that were greeting? There was just a line of posts treating us like absolute criminals, and that's what we are. And Mike's right, is 100% right. My bus gets stopped on Sunday. We get treated with absolute disdain. We get treated like vermin, like criminals everywhere we go. The police presence in that town on last night was an absolute disgrace. The police presence running about the away area, it was absolutely shocking. And they're just basically, they're there to cause animosity, and you can understand why people get frustrated. They don't care. They see us as absolute scumbags, scum of the earth to them.
I don't know what happens. You paid their wages.
I know, mate, you're right, but as I say, I don't know where we go from there. I don't know how we stop this. I don't know how the club's situation.
The club's got to be able to represent their fans in some way or other. They've got to be able to do so when they're speaking to the SFA and the police. The police can't go to these meetings with the clubs and say, well, we're just going to do this, and then we'll batter somebody and take them away and not tell them what it's about, and we'll stop their I mean, the police they've got freedom to do certain things, but no all the crap that they're doing. It's just nonsense, just utter nonsense.
Guys, we'll be lucky here for the club. We'll be lucky here for the club on this.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, right. We'll be lucky here for the club on this mate. This will be brushed under the carpet as it normally is. As I say, the SLOs did come out last night, you know, but he went back in as soon as things started to heat up a wee bit. He went back into his seat anyway. But we'll be lucky here about this, mate. There's no chance we'll get our tickets refunded. Rangers won't. In my opinion, Rangers would say anybody with a genuine ticket.
Martin? How many people, Ryan, how many people do you reckon? About 200? 150?
I reckon about 150 about 150 people with real tickets, I'd say, mate, didn't get any access to the ground last night. About 22 possibly, mate, I'm not sure.
All right,
can I ask you a question?
Come on, right. On you go.
I take it most of the boys that went up there would be season ticket holders to earn the right to get a ticket, Ryan. Is that fair to say?
Well, not so much, mate. I think what our bus tends to do as well as, mate, is we've got a point system for away games, Fox. So if you go to every game, you're more or less likely to get a ticket. Stay for a game like Aberdeen where there's a ballot. You're more likely to get a ticket. We're very fortunate that the bus Simon's has got really good contacts, and I managed to get a ticket. I wasn't going up on the Sunday. But through obviously it being a Wednesday and other people not being able to go, I had the chance to get a ticket. So, no, I don't know how many on the CCCCS, how many tickets were released for that. But I'm not sure, mate, to answer your question, how many would be season ticket holders or not. I'm not sure how that goes about.
I think to me the only way you stop fake tickets is that you get your ticket on your season ticket, mate. I don't know how they would do it, but I mean, I take it there'd only be 2 or 3 turnstiles for the Rangers supporters last night. A handheld device to scan your season ticket. Just that Ibrox only a smaller version, mate.
Fox, I think, mate, sorry, got in there. I think, and Mount will probably say this as well, and I don't know any of the rest of the guys that go to away games, but a lot of tickets change hands, mate, during the away games. You know, there's a lot of guys, it's just contacts, there's tickets for. Some guys will have buses will have more tickets for these games, and I know it is the whole going back to the whole, you know, people get tickets. Aye, exactly, mate. But that's been going on for years. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of at away games you'll see. There's a lot of tickets that change hands, you know, through different people and stuff. So I don't know how that would be able to work.
Can I just quickly come in, guys? Just on, for instance, just to give some examples, like if you go to Aberdeen, for instance, or you go to Hibs. What happens is they've got on the ticket, they've got a unique barcode on the tickets, and it's the same for Parkhead. It's just basically you scan a ticket, and it scans in, and then it basically gives you entry if it's a genuine ticket. It's smaller grounds like Ross County and Fraserburgh who don't have this technology, where this type of thing can be exploited, if that makes sense. This is kind of, it's the first I've ever heard it in terms of the counterfeiting, the sort of. In this type of scale, but as I said, it's just not good enough. Do you know what I mean? It's just not good enough for guys like Ryan, you know, who are week in, week out. I mean, there's probably the best part of 12 hours Ryan's travelled in the last week or so for following Rangers. You know?
There's a couple issues for me, Ryan. Obviously the tobacco, and I can understand how the posts, when they get to their numbers and they run and they're past their safety, they can't win with that one. But what I will say, what's deplorable is the treatment after it. There's a way of treating people.
Right. Yeah. I was, more raising about Ox. See, at the end of the day, right? I'm gutted, right? But I still had a no bad day, mate. I still had a good laugh on our bus. That's part of the reason I go to away games, because it's not just about the game's the most important thing, mate. But it's the trip on the bus. It's the laugh with the boys. It's everything that goes along, mate. So I mean, I still had a good enough day. I kind of left there last night thinking to myself, well, do you know what? I still had a good day. Then when I woke up this morning and I thought, it's the treatment, it's the way we're treated, it's the whole issue, it's people sending you photos inside the ground saying, well, no, look at the space here, there's tons of space, and there was a lot of space, but it's just the treatment. It's the treatment everywhere we go, mate. I found myself last night, I mean, I was shouting things at them, there was a lot of people shouting things. They could have jailed a couple of people, but it's the treatment, mate. It's the disdain. It's the treated like absolute criminals. And I've suffered this before. I've been up court and stuff like that through Rangers games and all that, and I've suffered it through them, and I've been through this whole banning all the fan football against all this, against bigotry and all this crap. I've been through all this, mate, so I feel I've got a chip in my shoulder when it comes to going to away games. Now.
Can I ask a question then, Ryan?
Sorry.
Go, carry on, Martin. Sorry,
let Martin go, then we'll go
go for the Martin.
No, it was just two really quick points. Point number one, Ryan, on the bus drivers union. I hope you looked after your driver. Point number two, I believe they're changing the law. I don't know how much difference it's going to make, but I believe they're changing that Football Behaviour Act or whatever the fuck it's called. Whatever it's called, sorry. And I hope that'll make a bit of a difference, because I've took Rangers fans pretty much all over Scotland on the coach. And I can testify to what Ryan's saying. Yeah, it's their job to stop and check. You're not allowed alcohol, all that, blah, blah, blah. But it's the way they treat you. Even the way the drivers get treated is disgraceful. The drivers are hunted. If they've got alcohol on the bus, we get fined £1,000. Even if it's in a plastic bottle. So the police don't just treat the fans on the bus disgracefully, they also treat the drivers disgracefully as well.
We've got a couple of callers coming in, mate. Ryan, I'll get the question. I think one of them might be Big Al again. I'm not sure. Is it? Hello, caller?
No, I'm still here, man.
All right. We've been joined by another caller. Evening, caller.
How you doing, lads? All right? Calvin 72.
Oh, Calvin.
Hey, Calvin, how you doing, bud?
You were not there last night, were you?
I was up there last night, lads. I was watching the telly. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a ticket.
All right, you should have seen Ryan. He had 5 spare ones.
No, I was just phoning up there, mate, just for Ryan talking about how Rangers fans are treated away from him. I think it's absolutely shocking, and I honestly, genuinely think it's an absolute stitch-up half the time. I've been to Partick Thistle, you're paying the guts of £25. Tickets are well overpriced, as you know, for the stand over 50 you're watching half the time. And I've missed half a game at
getting in.
You're getting in the ground, mate, literally maybe 42 minutes into the game, just before half time. Same at Easter Road and all, mate, they're checking tickets and just totally, mate, taking the piss out of Rangers fans, and it's just as if you have to suck it up, mate, and just take it all the time. It's just simply not good enough.
What's the answer, lad? What's the answer, lads? Go to Ryan.
I don't know, mate. Honestly, I don't know.
Bridges got an answer to it. I don't agree with it, but Bridges got an answer. His answer. What's your answer?
Everyone knows how I feel about it. I would certainly be, if going with what we're hearing tonight from a number of people, that's a shocking way to treat people as fans. And if it was me and I could get it, I would definitely ban every single team. I'd just boycott them. No Rangers fans, don't take any tickets for anything until somehow or other they get the whole thing fixed out. Because Rangers are attending these meetings with the police and the authorities, and they're agreeing to whatever it is, whatever the rules and regulations are. And under that old act that Calvin mentioned there, or Martin mentioned, if that goes out the window, they're going to bring in the old breach of the peace type thing, you know, and an offence that covers a multitude of sins, and that's how they'll do it with. They might not have certain powers that they've got now, but they'll just change that. And that's, as far as I'm concerned, until such times as things are corrected and in the favour of Rangers supporters who travel away, they've got every right to be able to do it. Don't go. In my opinion, Rangers should be leading this and just boycotting. Sorry, guys.
Can I come in there, Rox?
On you go.
Aye, it's just to say, I feel for the fans, right? But I've worked within the security industry with a number of firms, right, who tend to deal with football matches and rugby matches and everything else. I tended to work at Tynecastle, Easter Road, in Murrayfield, places like that, and Almondvale, the old Livingston Ground. There's got to be a full meeting here. The Fraserburgh chairman's come out and says it. There's got to be a meeting between yourself, Rangers and Police Scotland. The SLO and everything like that can't come out and say anything. This meeting usually takes about 72 hours to go through everything. so nobody can come out and get any sort of information before that.
Yeah,
the thing is, and I'm not saying anything against the fans. The fans are brilliant. They travel away to all the games, like Ryan and Mount Vernon, Calvin as well. But the main thing is here, mate, it's health and safety. When health and safety is at risk, nobody can take any chances whatsoever. And that's why there's got to be this full meeting here, mate.
Can I just come in, guys?
Sure, mate, on you go.
Sorry to just interject here, mate, right? But I'm not going to lie here, mate, right? I can categorically tell you, right? See a steward, right? I don't mean to offend people who are at their work, right? And I get that people are at their work, right? But some of the people we encounter day in, day out, mate, and when we're going to away games, are utter mentalists, mate. And I mean this in all sincerity. Some of the people we go into grunts, there's guys at the side of parts with boots on to run on to catch people for going on. I'm being serious when I say this, right? This is how mental some of these people are, right? I've every ground I've been into, mate, this season, I categorically tell you, searching the way in for anything, for flares. I asked the guy, why are you searching this? We're searching for drinking flares. I says, I don't really particularly mind you search me, but the problem I've got is, mate, is that guys like Ryan, it shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be, these things shouldn't be happening. For instance, right, our Rangers Supporters Club has been done 3 times for drinking, basically, on the way to matches. The bus company have been fined the best part of nearly $3,500. The driver in question is potentially looking at losing his licence. This is just, it's totally over the top, mate. It's working class guys on a Saturday and Sunday, or even a Friday night or a Wednesday night, having a few beers on the way to a game of football. Let's get this into perspective. They're not going to want to fight with people. It's not like the 70s and 80s where they want to go out, fight with people, want to cause absolute chaos. It's just working class boys like Ryan and other people who want to go to the game, not have any hassle, want to go and support their team and go away for the match. See, the thing is as well, mate, a couple of things, right? The categorisation of football matches is done by Police Scotland, right? To put it in perspective, the highest categorisation is Celtic. Celtic cause the most bother season on season. They've got statistics. Rangers are a Category C event. End Place Celtic's a Category A event. The policing is completely over the top for some of these matches. It's a waste of resources and it's a waste of our time and the taxpayers' money as well, mate. I'm sorry, but it's got to the stage where people like myself and Ryan are starting to lose the plot a wee bit with it, mate.
Understand. But the law came in 1981 about the non-drinking in buses.
I get that, mate. But the reality is that good people like bus drivers and other people are getting done for things. They're getting done for having a drink and alcohol in a public place. It's absolute madness. See, the good thing about it,
you're not allowed to.
Right, okay, fair enough.
You're not allowed to.
But you know what? It's not right.
It's actually putting the drivers at risk.
Exactly, mate.
Yeah, but you've stipulated there you've done it 3 times and the driver's under risk. Maybe you want to have a wee think to yourself. Maybe we just wait till we get off the bus or before we go on the bus. On the journey, because we're putting a bit of common sense, I do appreciate what you're saying. Sometimes it's a bit overhanded. Yeah, go ahead.
When you go down, we'll get another caller coming in.
I understand what you're saying, guys, right? But see, to be fair, again, I don't want to single out anybody that doesn't go to away games, right? But see, if you're trying to take a bus full of guys, 52-seater, guys can't drink a bus to go to Aberdeen, Ross County, Fraserburgh. We're having a laugh here, and I fully understand Mount's point. I know it's against the rules, but why is it against the rules? It's alcohol. It's having a drink go to a football match. Come on. It's an absolute disgrace. You're not allowed to have a drink going to a football game. You can drink at a rugby game, but you can't have a drink on the way to a football game. It's 2018, man.
It's a perception of football fans.
Come on, man. We've got a caller coming in. Caller.
Hello, Ox. How you doing? It's Del Boy for Bargeddie here.
Oh, Del Boy.
How we doing, guys? All right?
All right, mate.
Good. I was actually... I listen to you every night. You're all great. You do a brilliant job.
Right, you must drink on the bus as well then, mate.
No, listen. I stopped going on the buses when we were relegated 5 years ago. I've actually not heard all the show tonight. I've been out tonight. I was driving home there. I get the last 20 minutes there. And I want to echo what Bridgeman's saying. Actually, I'm in 100% agreement with Bridgeman with what he's been saying for long enough about signing players and starving these clubs that are full of hatred for our club, starving them of money. And I was a diehard that didn't miss a game home and away. Travel club member, or Europe, you name it, I went to them all. But when we were relegated, I made a promise to myself and I said I will never break it. I said, man, it's away games will be when we're in Europe. I will never feed these haters a penny of my hard-earning money again as long as I should live. I starved them with the £Blue Pound. And I think it's time some of the fans stopped being so loyal and just going to Ibrox and putting the money into the club directly that way.
Dale, can I ask you what age you're on, mate? And I don't mean to be flippant.
No, I'm 39, just turned 39 on the 11th of January. And your man Mountain there is a pal of my cousin's, John Purdy.
Aye,
right.
well,
John Purdy's my cousin.
Well, you know what we get through, mate.
I know what you get through, but I went through it all before. You're younger than me, I'm 39.
Every generation, I get your point, and there's a large part of me agrees with you, but I think the trouble is, if I was 20 years of age and somebody told me I couldn't go and watch the Rangers away, it wouldn't have happened.
I know what you're saying, Ops, man. You know, it's you want to give the team all your backing, and you want to be devoted and loyal, and you want to be there, and you want to sing your songs and get behind the team. But this is venom in this country. This is absolute hatred.
It's a war.
Why do it is a war? And I'm not against fans going. I'm not actually shouting that they definitely shouldn't, because they do a great job backing the team. But at the same time, I know we're feeding these clubs money to keep them going. I think if we turned the lights out and stopped giving them the £Blue Pound, you would soon see some of them dying.
Ryan, do you want to come back to that?
Sorry, Badge. I just totally disagree with that. And I get what Bridge and I get what that caller's saying. But I'm sorry, I know what's happened to us in the past, and I know what clubs have done to us. But do you know what? That's never, and it's not going to stop me going to watch my club week in, week out. Doesn't matter if it's going to go to Tannadice or Easter Road or Pittodrie or whatever it is. I'll go anywhere to watch Glasgow Rangers. Glasgow Rangers is my life and in my heart and in my blood, and I'm sorry, but nothing is going to stop me if you've got to watch Glasgow Rangers. No, what they've done to us in the past, or they voted against us or whatever. I'm sorry, I can see by that. It hurts me, but I can see by that, and I'll go anywhere to watch Rangers. Doesn't matter who I'm getting the money to, I'll go anywhere to watch Rangers. So I totally, wholeheartedly disagree with people saying don't go to the games. That's, for me,
Ryan,
that's just a non-starter.
Last word to Bridge. On you go, Bridge.
People like me who say these things, we say it with a heavy heart, may I say.
I know that, mate.
And in all honesty, I know we're going to fight a losing battle. Hence the reason why I'm saying that we need to somehow or other get the club to back the fans and go to the authorities and get all these things sorted out. But the fans shouldn't be getting treated like this. They must realise that there's a whole economy. Rangers and probably Celtic as well with their fans. This huge economy that's going to travelling along the streets and the roads of Scotland to go and follow their teams. I'm only caring about the Rangers fans. I don't want any of the Rangers fans getting treated the way they've been treated now. Now, I would love Rangers to take up the cudgel and start fighting big style for their fans. And if it means, I don't know, sort of lobbying MPs, whatever it is it takes, go and do it. But
Bridge. We'll call it a halt. And I'll tell you what, lads, this is fantastic. Maybe during the international break we'll have a night and we'll put it over to this subject and we'll get the debate going, because it's all about opinions. Dale, give us a shout out, mate.
I just want to do a shout out to my friend Christine and my cousin John Boy, because they'll be listening. And tell you guys that do a brilliant job every night. Keep it going.
Thanks very much. Kelvin?
Just a shout out to the Rangers on Saturday and getting about these animals.
You're here, mate.
Well said.
The global ambassador.
I'd just like to say a big shout out to all the travelling fans. And I've been there. I've been chucked off the bus numerous times at Dunblane for being gassed. That's what you do as a young man. So keep it going for the Rangers.
Aye.
That was a
Big Ulster.
Yep, just so everybody been listening, hope you enjoyed the show.
Ibrox Loyal.
Just going to say, fantastic, informative show, and bring on Saturday.
Martin?
I just give a big shout out to my wee brother at Rangers who's just done his knee ligaments, and I hope he gets better soon.
Oh, mate, all right. I send all my regards. for everybody at Rangers Radio, mate.
Will do.
Mount Vernon.
My shout outs to the thousands and thousands of Rangers supporters out there, and the Rangers supporters clubs who go week in, week out to support our team. The most loyal fans in the world, the best fans in the world, and do you know what? I'll be there next week and I'll be there the following week. No surrender.
Ryan?
My shout out, guys, to all the Rangers fans that did travel up there yesterday, where you got a ticket, but particularly the fans who were kept out and didn't get to see their team. So my shout outs to all them, and same as Mount, loyal and proud always, mate. No surrender.
Yeah, keep us informed of any of your replies you get for the SLO, mate. It'd be interesting.
I will do, mate.
See where it takes us. Fox?
Good night, thanks for listening.
Bridgeman?
Oh, what a night. What a great night. Some marvellous discussions, guys. I hope we haven't upset anyone, because I'm a big loudmouth, as they say. To Del Boy, we share a birthday. I love you. Everybody, all Rangers fans all over the world, and I mean it with all my heart, all of us, keep it going for the Rangers, because we need it and we need each other. Keep it going.
Can I thank everybody that's joined us this evening? It's been absolutely fantastic. All the callers that took the time to call in. It's been great to hear from you. Too many to mention. We'll be back tomorrow night between 9 and 11. This has been Rangers Radio. Take it away, Fox.
Every other Saturday's my half day off, and it's off to the match I go. Happily we wander down the Copeland Road, me and my wee pal Joe. We love to see the lasses with their blue scarves on, we love to hear the boys all roll. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. Me, oh, my. Oh, how we love to see them try. We love to see the lasses with their blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roll. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. We won the Scottish League about 1,000 times. The Glasgow was a simple do. We gave some exhibitions in the Scottish Cup. We gave a Wembley with